What I want to speak about is something that's trending in the news right now, and unfortunately, Chris Brown finds himself in another unfortunate circumstance. The headline reads, Chris Brown sued for alleged drugging and raping of a woman on a yacht. I assume it was a party on a yacht when this alleged offense took place. Now, I'm really not going to speak about this. What I will speak about is the fact that I actually met Chris Brown's aunt in 2005, right before Chris Brown blew up as an artist. In 2005, I was at a Marriott, and I was doing some work there with my uncle. My uncle had a contract with this particular Marriott in Richmond, Virginia, and I was 15 years old at the time, and I was helping him do some work. I met Chris Brown's aunt because my uncle knew her. My uncle knew Chris Brown's aunt, and he introduced me to her and said, "Hey, Benny, this is Chris Brown's aunt." And I knew who Chris Brown was because Tappahannock, Virginia, which is the town that Chris Brown is from, is a couple hours away from Richmond. And I had actually went to a talent show at one of the high schools out there that he went to. And I seen him in action before he actually became a celebrity. So everybody everybody who was into local music knew who Chris Brown was. I was aware of who he was. And his aunt was telling me in 2005 at the Marriott, she was a housekeeper there. She was telling me, "Hey, I'm leaving soon. I'm about to quit the Marriott. This is the last time you're going to see me." And I said, "Oh, man, why?" And she said, "I'm about to go on his first tour. Chris Brown's going on a tour." And I said, "Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember if his first single was already out or not. I don't know. I mean, this could have been like a year into his career. All I know is it was very, very early in his career. And she told me that she was going to leave the Marriott and she was going to start working for her nephew. I seen her again in 2012 at a mall, and when I bumped into her, we both were catching up with each other. By this time, I was 21. I was no longer a teenager myself, and she was talking. And Chris Brown's only a few years older than me, so she was telling me that everything was going well. Her lifestyle had changed dramatically. She was no longer a housekeeper at the Marriott. She was like full-time executive and basically in an executive management position working for Chris Brown. And I thought it was cool because she was such a big fan of his, and she was just always talking about Chris Brown, right? So in 2012, this is 3 years after the whole Rihanna situation happened, and even at that time, 3 years later, a lot of people were angry at Chris Brown because of the Rihanna situation. People are angry at him till this day. There are a lot of groups out there campaigning against Chris Brown. And I was telling her, I said, I bet Chris Brown goes through a lot of situations like Tupac did, because, I'm a big Tupac fan, so I use a lot of Tupac metaphors. And I was like, Tupac, he got sued and went to prison for rape. And she was like, yeah. She said, one thing that we try to do to prevent things like that from happening is we make the women who come to our parties, our after shows, sign non-disclosure agreements and things like that, and consent forms, like some forms to say, hey, I'm here on my own will. I'm here willingly. I am going to willingly engage in drinking and stuff like that. So after I seen her, I never seen her again. I never seen her again. And I've never met anybody who's in the music business. So that was the first time that I heard that artists actually make these women sign these non-disclosures and stuff like that. But as far as this situation, Chris Brown is being sued by a woman who alleges he drugged and raped her on a yacht docked at P Diddy's home in Miami. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. The complaint obtained by the publication says the plaintiff is a professional choreographer, dancer, model, and musical artist who was invited to the yacht along with a friend on December 30th. The invitation was extended to her by a male friend who reportedly knows Brown. Jane Doe boarded the yacht. Brown allegedly offered her a mixed drink. They discussed her music career, and Brown offered tips about starting a career in the music industry. However, when he refilled her drink, the plaintiff says she began feeling disoriented, physically unstable, and started to fall in and out of sleep. The complaint alleged that the plaintiff was led down to a corridor into a bedroom where Brown closed the door and prevented her attempts to leave. He allegedly undressed her and raped her, ejaculating inside of her. It's also reported that Brown demanded the woman to take Plan B, an emergency contraceptive. The plaintiff is seeking $20 million in damages. Brown has not issued a proper statement on the allegations but posted on his Instagram. I hope y'all see this pattern of blue cap emoji. Whenever I'm releasing music or projects, they'll try to pull some real BS. Now, first of all, I personally think Chris Brown is a veteran. He's been in the music industry for like 15 years now. He's a veteran. He's not some new cat that hasn't been exposed to the tricks of the industry. You know, he knows what's going on. So it's hard for me to believe that Chris Brown, after all of this experience and after all of the things that he's been through, would do something like that. I mean, this guy has been around for 15 years now. You know, he's a legend, he's a veteran, and he's experienced a lot of stuff on the road. I'm pretty sure he's been through everything that an entertainer can go through. So for him to make a rookie mistake like that, it's hard for me to believe it. But at the same time, I don't want to feel like I'm not giving this woman an opportunity to express herself. I don't want to feel like the guy who's saying, hey, you know, you're trying to take advantage of this guy because he's rich, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be that guy either. I want to be the person that says that, I want to be the person that believes her, and I want to be the person that thinks that she's credible. I want to feel like, hey, people aren't just going to make up things like this, but we live in a world where that kind of thing does happen. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards, why would Chris Brown do something like that after all of these years in the game, after all of this experience? But hey, who knows? Crazy things happen. Peace.